Check, check. Hello, everyone. Good morning. I hope I'm audible and clear. If you have any audio issue, you can make and let me know during the session in the chat window. And at any time of the training, you can click raise hand or you can ask a question and we will answer it during the session itself. Okay. So my name is Samuel Kumar, Training Manager for Hanwha TechWin, Middle East and Africa. I can see some familiar names. We have around 64 people who joined, and most of them, or majority of them, are from Saudi Arabia. All right, so it's interesting that today we will be focusing on the main topic, the cameras, and then we will touch on NVR also. Okay. So before we go further, this is a certified training, which means after you finish the training, tomorrow around 1 p.m., you will get an email with the link to register for the exam. Okay, so you can register for the exam, and then once you register, you can do the exam anytime before the end of the month. Okay, so as soon as you register, you will see let me open a document just to make it more clear. Hold on. Oh, so you will get an email with the link once you register. As soon as you register, you will see the exam link. So just click and take the exam. You can take it anytime. So for example, you will see a date called 28th August. It's fine, or 26th August. So you can take any time before 26th or 28th August, whatever is mentioned. Okay, so you don't have to wait. It's not a live test, it's an offline test. Okay, then, okay, all right. And also, additional trainings are posted in our website. So if you see any of the email signature from Hanwha guys, you will see a link. Click here to see the training schedule. But those who are new, if you want to get further trainings, additional trainings, or different topics, you can find it under support and on sorry, Academy webinar. So you go to hanwha-security.com, then you go to support Academy webinar. After that, Middle East and Africa. Okay, scroll down. You will see the training dates mentioned. You can enroll in any of this. Okay, and let's go ahead. Dashboard. Okay, good. All right, so let's begin. And initially, some of you are slightly new. You would have heard about Hanwha. Our team would have already introduced our company to you. However, I will just go through it very briefly. Who's Hanwha and what is the relation between Hanwha, Samsung, and um, what are our strengths and so on. Okay. So in short, Hanwha is a South Korean company and seventh largest company in South Korea. We are a Fortune 500 company as well, which means all the company in the world put together, there are top 500 companies. So we are one of the top 500 companies globally. Okay, not just in Asia, not just in America, all over the world. Okay, now we have multiple subsidiaries. Hanwha is a group name. One of the subsidiary is Hanwha TechWin. Okay, so I am working in Hanwha Techwin, so I work for the subsidiary Hanwha Techwin, which is manufacturing CCTV security related equipments. Okay, there are other subsidiaries like defense, chemical industry, petrochemical, and energy, solar, insurance companies, and so on. So Hanwha is just a group name, and the subsidiary is Hanwha Techwin. Hanwha Techwin manufactures CCTV. Yeah, so the CCTV products that we manufacture, the security systems that we manufacture, we call it Wisenet. Okay, how to relate? Samsung is a group name. Samsung Electronics is making electrical equipments. Then we have Galaxy series for mobile phones, right? So same way, Wisenet is the name of the product. Hi, Ahmed, you have a question? Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, if you have a question, Ahmed Turk, you can unmute and ask. All right. Okay. My voice is low. Okay. Just give me a second. Let
Hello?
me fix that. Yeah, Ahmed.
Hello?
Yes, Ahmed. I can hear you. Okay. All right. So see if you can. My voice is low. Okay. Cannot hear you.
Hello?
Okay. Good. All right. So we'll proceed. So back to the topic. We were talking about Hanwha, what kind of a company Hanwha is. So Hanwha is a group name. Hanwha Techwin is a subsidiary. Wisenet is the name of the product. Okay, Wisenet is the name of the product. Under Wisenet, we have different series. For example, if you go and buy Samsung Galaxy phone, you have Note series, you have S21, S22. Same way, we have different series depending on the features that is needed. Today, we will be seeing how to choose the right series for your project. Okay, now as a Fortune 500 company, you can see here, and our rank is a 306. We are bigger than many companies which you already are aware of. We are bigger than Schneider, bigger than Honeywell, bigger than Canon as a company size and revenue. Okay, now we will just go straight to the topic. We originally Hanwha started as a Samsung TechWin. Okay, so it was a company started or launched by Samsung called Samsung TechWin, and it was involved in CCTV. They were manufacturing CCTV equipment. So this is the head office back then, 1991. All right. Later on, in 2015, Hanwha Group acquired multiple businesses from Samsung. Samsung CCTV, Samsung Defense, Samsung Petrochemical, many divisions were acquired by Hanwha. Okay. The reason is Samsung decided to go more into consumer business like mobile phone and electronics, and Hanwha was already a very strong in defense and petrochemical. So they bought whatever was available from Samsung, including the CCTV business. Okay, now whatever projects, whatever products we see are after the acquisition. So we we haven't stopped innovating. You can see all the cameras that you are aware of that you will be looking at is all after the acquisition. In fact, the number of products were released were higher or more in the last couple of years. Okay, so even during the period of COVID, a lot of work was done, multiple products were launched. So if in 2019, the most talked about technology, artificial intelligence cameras in the camera itself, AI technology in the camera, so no additional license needed. So that particular camera was launched. In 2017, X series was launched, 16 analytics inside the camera, no extra licenses. It works with our or third party VMS. It was launched. So nothing has stopped. World's first 55x Ptz camera was launched. So all these you will see in the product lineup. Today we will be focusing more on the camera and Nvr. Okay. Okay. So parent company, subsidiary, product name is Wisenet. And you have different series under this. So far, I believe it is clear. Okay, let's go. We have over 28 offices globally. In Saudi, also we have office. In Dubai is the main Middle East head office. Okay, now let's jump into the products. And okay, just a few references. Okay, so what you're looking at is a training center. We have two training centers in Dubai. We will have offline classroom trainings in Saudi as well from next month. That is our plan to start classroom trainings. And for those who are not able to attend online or who prefer offline, they can go and attend that. Both are same certification. One is not better than the other. Okay. Now, some of the references, I start with large references outside Middle East, such as France, City Surveillance, Mexico City Surveillance, Qatar, 10,000 cameras for Musharraf Safe City, then South Korea, 70,000 cameras, of course. Expo Dubai project, 9,000 cameras. Abu Dhabi city surveillance and mosque surveillance, 18,000 cameras. Uh, Saudi Bank Al Jazeera project, 4,500. Arab National Bank, 18,000 cameras. So we have in different verticals, you will see Hanwha, city surveillance, metro, banks, hospitals, even government projects, you will find our cameras. So this is our strength. We are present in all verticals. You can even find in retails. We are a manufacturer. We manufacture CCTV for different products. I mean, different applications. Some will have more analytics, some will have lesser analytics. So we are not an OEM company where we buy and sell. We make products depending on the customer requirement. So depending on the customer budget, based on that, we have different series to cater. But all of them come from the same factory. So product quality and assurance is the same. Only just like the mobile phone, you want more features, you want a pen, you want a stylus pen, you want extra camera resolution, it's different. So that's how we differentiate. But otherwise, it's the same. Okay, then, okay, enough of the references. Let's go to the camera product. Okay, okay. Next is here in this part, there are some key takeaways for you. Why you should go with our brand. Okay, why not someone else, right? Some of the key things is we are a end-to-end manufacturer. When I say end-to-end, you would have heard about this quite often, but a true end-to-end in the sense every component that you take in a camera is in-house developed and manufactured. Okay, what is developed? So the camera chipset, the process, the main part of the camera, it is in-house. We have our own chipset manufacturing plant. We make the camera processor. Just like for computers, i7 chipset is used, camera also is using a chipset. We make them, we develop them, and it is our own product. There are very few brands in CCTV who's making chipset. Okay, so we are a very serious CCTV vendor. We are in the top 5, and our goal is to provide the latest in technology because we are making chipset. What we are already ahead of what is available in the market. Okay, so that's why I refer to 2019 AI camera. So back then, you are hearing about AI today, but back then itself we had camera with AI on the edge. Lenses, we make the camera lenses special, for example 4K lenses, certain 2 megapixel lenses you will not find in any other brand. It is only unique to our product, so that also you will see. The software running in the camera, the analytics running in the camera is all in-house developed. So we have our own AI engineers, we have our own software developers, we have our own optical engineering team, we have our own chipset manufacturing team. So it is all in-house. So that's why you have a lot of value, because we are not outsourcing any factory, we are not outsourcing any technology. Okay, so this is our key strength. Okay, chipset is one main part. Okay, everything from the camera is dependent on chipset. Image quality, how good WDR performance, how good it can perform in low light, how it can manage the focus iris settings and image stabilization. All that is dependent on chipset. How good it can compress the image depends on chipset. How many analytics you can run depends on the chipset. So everything is done by the chipset. So this is how we are better, because um, it's like you have to take a very basic example. When we build a chipset, we don't build it for 2020 only. It is future proof. So for the next 5 to 7 years, the camera can even handle additional features. So the product is quite flexible. So we are not tied. Sometimes when you go to a vendor and you say I need this feature, they will tell you, okay, we will release in the next model. For us, it is we can add it to this existing model. So that is the strength of our product. Okay, now yeah, other than that, some of the main features that you'll see is 150 dB WDR, one of the highest in the industry, and built-in camera analytics. Okay, first we will talk about AI. Now there are two types of AI cameras in the market, but with us we have only the best, that is deep learning. You can see here the word here, deep learning technology. Okay, there is machine learning AI camera. However, we are not using machine learning because it is machine learning is a very basic way of doing AI, and if a person is hiding behind the tree, it will not detect, because in machine learning you have to see the full person. You cannot see half the person. So in if you see in this video, this is a normal CCTV scene. Okay, the car is behind the tree, there is a person under the building. So all this is very common in CCTV. However, if you use machine learning, you will not it will not detect this as a car, because according to that, the car still does not have wheels, so it will not detect. So this is the challenge in machine learning. We don't use that, we use only deep learning. Okay, so that, why did I keep mention or why do I keep mentioning about this? Because both machine learning and deep learning, they fall under the category of AI. If I use machine learning, I can still call it AI camera. If I use deep learning, I can still call it AI camera. So you can check in the datasheet of any third-party brands what learning algorithm is used, what processor is used, deep learning algorithm or machine learning, MLPU or DLPU, deep learning processing unit, MLPU. Okay, so anyhow, let's go forward. What is the benefit of AI? Very clear. Camera is, let me bring out that nice. Okay, Okay, so here we go. Okay, in a typical CCTV environment, uh, you can see the tree, the tree branch. You see here, the tree branch, it can move, right? But if you use a traditional analytics without deep learning or just a standard analytics, the standard analytics, they will check if the movement of the object is as big as a human being. If it is true, it will think it's a motion. If it is not AI camera, if it is not an AI camera, if there is any movement which is as big as a human being, for example, here, the movement of the tree here, this guy is as tall as a human being. So according to the camera, it thinks it's a human being. It is not very sure. This is the traditional method or conventional method. That's why most of them are not very keen on using analytics because of this issue. If there is a shadow which is moving, it will trigger an alarm. That is the traditional analytic method. However, in AI, you cannot I mean, the camera will not trigger an alarm if there is a tree moving. Doesn't matter, because the camera has been trained to understand who is a person, who's not a person. We do the training and we supply this camera, and you get free updates also. When we enhance the algorithm, you can also get the benefit of this. Okay, now you will see here on the top left in the video, the person is walking. The traditional camera has detected it. Also, it is detecting the movement of the robots. You can see, detecting moving robots as if it's a person. But in an AI camera, it doesn't matter. If the robot is moving, it doesn't matter. It is still rejected. It is not a person. Then at the bottom, you can see um, shadows. Shadows can trigger alarms. In nighttime, there is a car headlight. Wherever the car headlight is falling, it is causing shadow. It will cause alarm. This is the traditional analytics. This is one of the reason why you hear a lot of AI in this market, because the accuracy is very good and it is very practical. Now, in a typical scenario, if there is rain drop, you can see that it is causing alarms. A normal camera will cause alarm, but an AI camera, it doesn't matter. So a more reliable way of detecting person and vehicle is now possible with artificial intelligence. Okay, so this is one of the key strengths of AI camera. All right, now any questions up to this point, you can post in the chat window. If you want to unmute your mic and ask, you can also raise your hand and unmute and you can ask. Okay. All right. Next, what is the benefit of using such an analytic? Let's say the camera has been looking at different types of people. Okay, I can demonstrate this here. Let's say, okay, so here we go. I will want to search. So from the VMS, you can do it from our VMS or any third-party VMS. You can do the same with AI. Search and object search. Okay, and I'm searching from AI camera. I'm looking for all the person that the camera has picked up. So you can see different people that it picked up. I can then filter by color. Let's say I'm looking for blue color. All blue color will be filtered. So this is one quick way to figure out who came at what time uh, the incident occurred. So you can also look for, let's say, face, and you're looking for certain age group. whether he's wearing a mask or glass. You can add multiple filters. Same way you can do for vehicle as well. If you're looking for a car, I'm looking for a car with a specific color of the car and so on. Type of car, no case, okay, no case. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so if you find it, then you can filter. Currently, there is no car because this is indoor, looking inside the training room. You can look for different colors and you can filter it as well. So this is one way. Next is let's say some incident happened in the training room. Okay, let me pull this out. There's no video. Okay, let's see. Let's go to today. Okay, so I am going to find out who was the first person to enter this particular area. So I can do that as well, and you can do this at any time. You don't have to set all these settings. You can do this anytime after the recording has been done. So 5:32. So let's play the video. So someone entered the office at 5:32. That's really early. So 5:30 a.m. the first person entered, the second person, or she's still at 7:20. So when did I come into the training room? So somewhere, okay, so this person has entered the training room at 9:20. So this is quick way to figure out what happened, who crossed this area at what time. I don't have to go and play back for the last 24 hours and figure out, okay, the typical way of searching an incident, how does it work? You will do a playback and then you will scroll and search, or you can go to this particular timeline and check, right? Colored timelines. But yeah, this is little bit more time consuming. However, advanced search allows you to do it quickly. Now, what I did now, you can do it with the AI camera, with a non-AI camera also. If you have AI camera, you can search by person, you can get a best shot. This is called best shot. So me entering the training room here, so you can quickly identify using snapshot. Okay, so this is the benefit of analytics. Why do you need analytics? To make investigation as soon as possible, as fast as possible, and solve the case. Make your operator more efficient, make the project more secure. Okay. All right. So let's go forward. You can do the same. This is milestone VMS. I can do the same. I'm looking for a car here, a particular vehicle, black color car, search and filter, car color black. So it will filter. So because you have an image, we call it best shot, you can click and the video will play on the right side. Same way with Genetech, you can search for, here I'm looking for a person, let me forward. So I can filter by yellow and the video will play on the bottom. So you got the idea? Is there any license for this? No. If you buy AI camera, all this is included. You can use it with Genetech or Milestone. You pay for the camera license, right? Camera license one, but you don't have to pay for using this feature. No analytic license or no search license, nothing like that. It's all included with the camera. All right. Okay. Now, similarly, just like we talked about AI cameras, not every project requires AI. Same way in a mobile phone, not everybody requires a note. You might just need a standard phone, or you might need some basic analytics. You still need camera on the phone, something like that. So same way, there are cameras without AI, but they still have analytics. So the analytics are, for example, we have cameras with appear and disappear. It's called object left behind. So object appeared out of nowhere, object removed, disappear, someone removed the object. So in case you have a specific safe area or you have a specific valuable item, you can put a box around it and you can have the camera do the detection. Same way, virtual line. You can draw a line and the camera will detect if someone is crossing the line, or you can draw a box. If a box is like a zone, if any object is leaving the zone, it will trigger an alarm. Now let me just quickly show you the power of this analytic. So if I log into the camera, you can find it under the analytics section, and let's say line crossing, virtual line. You can draw this. Okay, by the way, this is called scenario. If you want, you can do this. Otherwise, you don't have to draw any lines. You can use the VMS to search after some incident happened. But if you want to know immediately, say if someone is entering the door, I want to get immediate notification, then you can set a scenario and say, okay, if someone is entering or leaving or entering the training room, I need an alarm. You can even put schedule and say at what time I need the alarm. This can be your property. If someone is entering your property, you need an alarm. You can draw the line as many up to 8 lines. Q series, a different series, at least you can draw 4 lines. X series, 8 lines. So we will see that later. But generally speaking, the line 4 itself is good enough, because this line you can have and you can even make it like this. So you got the idea. So you can cover your entire perimeter even with a single line, by the way. So this is quite powerful. Same way, virtual area. Each area you can have a different setting. One can be enter, one can be, another line can be both directions. So it's very, very, very flexible camera in this kind of features. Same way, motion detection. You can have you can draw 8 zones. Each zone you can put sensitivity, you can set the level of detection. What is level of detection? Sometimes this is like a coffee shop or this is an outdoor environment. Some level of movement is always there. Somebody is always, maybe 2 people, 3 people is always there. So it will tell you what is the current level of movement. Okay, maybe it's a counter. So you will find there a graph showing here some level of movement, which is fine. If that movement is very high, if it exceeds the current level, this is called level of detection. If it exceeds this bar, then only it will trigger an alarm, more motion. So this all can be customized for each and every zone, and sensitivity, minimum duration, how long the motion should occur before it trigger an alarm, what is the schedule, if it occur, trigger a relay output, go to preset, start recording on the SD card, or send an email. So quite flexible features available. Here you can put also one more setting. You can tell the camera if you detect small birds, ignore. So size of a bird will be smaller than the blue color box. It's called minimum size to detect. If it is bigger than the blue color box, so if a person is walking through this door, for sure he'll be taller than the box, this blue color. He'll be wider, right? So it's okay. If a small cat is walking through, doesn't matter, it will reject. So this is called size or calibration of the analytics. Okay. If you don't want to do all this, then you can use AI camera. Okay. Let me just quickly look for the AI camera. So I have here AI camera. In this model, analytics, object detection, you don't have to draw any size actually. You can just say I'm looking for person, vehicle, license plate, face detection. So here, if I draw a line, if I draw a line, I only tell if there is a vehicle crossing the line, trigger an alarm. So for example, if someone is parking in your area or entering in your area, there's a car, you can trigger an alarm immediately. Or if a person is crossing the road, or if someone is going crossing the yellow line, you can trigger an alarm with the vehicle. If a person is crossing the street, you can say, okay, person detected, trigger an alarm. So like that, you can customize this alarm analytics. So here I draw a box. If anybody entering this box is a person, I want alarm. So you don't have to worry about size. It's much more simpler. This is the benefit of AI camera. Okay. So enter exit. Anybody enter the zone or leaving the zone, it will trigger an alarm. Tampering. What is tampering? If you block the camera view, of course it should tell, right? It's a serious crime. Someone is blocking the camera. It should immediately trigger. Today there are so many cameras in any project, and how the operator knows somebody has moved the camera or somebody has blocked the camera. This is one way to detect. Face detection, again, uh, imagine this is a non-AI camera, right? A non-AI camera, we had some extra features because motion detection can be caused by car, can be caused by animals, can be caused by human. So back then, 5 years back, we had a request. Customer said, I need slightly more intelligent motion detection. So we develop this analytic. We call it face detection. It will trigger only if it sees a face feature. Okay, this is a non-AI traditional way of doing face detection. We can do that as well. So it is also available in your camera. So if it detects a face, it will trigger an alarm. If there is a car, it will reject. Okay, so this is one. One of the unique features of Hanwha cameras is it also has audio analytics. Somebody screaming, it will say screaming analytics. Some glass break analytics. So gunshot, explosion, it can also do audio analytics. But you have to connect a microphone and do this analytic. Some cameras have built-in mic. So yeah, roughly appear, disappear, loitering. Loitering is someone is just moving in the area without any agenda. For example, let's say in the reception, there is a guy standing there for the last 10 minutes. So that is loitering. He's not going inside the building, he's not leaving the building, he's simply standing there. And maybe that's a suspect cause of concern, right? So that is loitering behavior. Line, virtual line, enter exit. You draw a box or a zone. If someone is parking in the wrong area, someone is entering the wrong area, it will trigger. Someone is leaving the or taking the going out of the parking area after a certain time, it's called exit. So that is also called passing analytics. Motion detection, face detection, tampering, shock detection. Some cameras have shock detection. um, it's not very important, we can see that later. Fog detection, if the view is blocked by fog, it will detect an alert. If the focus is lost, defocus detection, breaking glass, screaming, gunshot, explosion. Some cameras have counting analytics. Queue management, if there is a lot of people waiting in the queue management. Heat map, this is for business. If you want to know in the supermarket or in your food court which area is more crowded for the entire day. So for the entire day, it will tell you, okay, near KFC there is a lot of crowd, or near the supermarket, near the vending machine, there's a lot of crowd, something like that, just to know high traffic area. That is called heat map, mapping the zone and marking which area is more crowded in during the day. Okay, so this is not a security analytics, this is just for your information. Okay, so the same camera can do all of them at the same time. Sorry, all these analytics can be activated at the same time. There's no limit like, oh, only one can be activated, two can be activated, or three. It doesn't matter, all of them you can activate. If you have AI camera, this one plus AI you can activate all at the same time for all the zone, 4 zone, 8 zone, everything can be activated because it's our chipset. We are not going to make any limitation for that. Okay, next is handover. What is handover? Handover is a feature where one camera can send an alarm to another camera. For example, let me bring out a video to just demonstrate that. Okay, so here there is a panoramic camera looking at the stadium, and right now there is no one. So if there is someone walking in, so the camera detected and it will send a command to the PTC. So the PTC is looking somewhere else. So the PTC will come here and start zooming. It's called handover feature. Okay, when you're doing perimeter projects, or when you're having one camera covering a very large area, you can you can make different sections. You can say if someone is coming in the center of this entrance or center of the some. Okay, there was a request by one customer. They are monitoring a ship crossing. So it's a very wide area. So if the ship can come from here, can come from here, or can come from here. It doesn't matter which area it will take. So the PTZ should go there automatically. So that is handover feature. So this is one way of using, or it's a border security. One camera can is covering 100 meters, but when someone is coming at the 50th meter, you can ask the PTZ camera to go there specifically. So this is called handover feature. Okay, now let's quickly now brief through the rest of the features, and we'll go to the core of the topic. Cameras are integrated to all the major VMS companies. Milestone, we are a platinum partner. Genetech also, we are a very a strategic partner. So every single model that we release, we make sure it is integrated. Every single model listed on the left side, and every single feature, video output, alarm output, audio input, motion detection, video analytics, SD card, dual stream, we make sure everything is integrated. So we are not going to give you a general statement saying, yeah, it is integrated, but we have to test it. So this is one way of giving you the confidence, and you can even check with Milestone. Even in their website, you will find our models listed. Same way with Genetech, we are following this on a regular basis. Every 2 weeks, this Excel sheet is getting updated. We have a dedicated team to make sure all the products are integrated. Okay. Another key is we have PTZ cameras with 500 meters of IR, zero light. You can see even at a distance of 500 meters. And there are cameras called low light cameras called extra lux. When you have very little light, we have half-inch sensor cameras to see and give you very good color picture. And the lens is having 0.94 f-stop. Now we will not go too much into this detail, but imagine this: if you have a remote substation projects, if you have remote street surveillance where the lighting is very low and you want very good image, we have cameras for that, extra low light cameras. Then we have highlight compensation, masking the bright light. These are standard features available. Okay, next is okay. Until now, we can all relate. At one point, we have been asked for such features. Now, what you will see is a special type of camera which is called X Plus. We have been asked by certain customers to uh, okay, I have a question. Handover feature, does it require license? No, it's not requiring license. It is camera to camera. So from one camera to another camera, you can configure the handover. For example, here under event, there is something called handover. You can say which is the receiving camera. You can add the PTZ camera and the preset of the PTZ camera. That's it. So this is how you create a handover. And when you have an event, let's say someone crossed the line, you can say I want to hand over to handover 1, handover 2. So you can each of them you can configure handover. Okay, so it's camera to camera. You don't have to depend on a VMS. So here and here. Okay, okay. Now this one I will not cover much in detail because it's not very popular, but it is available. Camera comes in a modular structure. and the dome drive is a magnetized. So this magnet, you just attach it to the back box, it will get fixed. You don't have screws for this. Okay, so it will save maybe a few seconds, maybe 20-30 seconds per camera to make your installation faster. Then when the camera is shipped, it will have a small hole where you can you don't have to unbox completely. You can just plug the Cat6 cable, fix the IP address, and send it to the commissioning team, and they can install. And it is the back box is separately boxed, and the dome drive is having a separate box. So overall process of installation, you can make it quicker. That is one. All right. Then there are some cameras called PTRZ. Not all cameras, some models ending with the letter Z. It's called PTRZ. So let's say you have a very high ceiling, convention halls, exhibition halls, metro stations. You fix the camera and the consultant is asking you, can you move the camera a little bit to the left, or can you rotate the lens because the ceiling is not very straight? So you don't have to go all the way up the camera and physically move it. You can do it from the web page. You can go left, right. You can even rotate the lens. This is not a PTZ, by the way. It will not move very fast like PTZ. This is just for adjustment purpose. It is having a motor for that dome drive. That's all. Why do we have this? Because the cost of hiring somebody, hiring a man lift to go all the way up, 10-meter high ceiling can take more cost. So that's why those kind of locations you can put this camera. PTZ camera cannot rotate like this. So yeah, so you can see the difference. This is called PTRZ, rotate and zoom. Pan, tilt, rotate and zoom. What does a normal camera do? Varifocal lens, you can zoom in, zoom out. This you can do in almost every camera, zoom in, zoom out. But going left, right, up and down, rotation, this is a special motor attached to the dome drive for dome cameras only to make installation much more convenient. Next, another convenient feature is USB drive. All X series and above, they have a USB dongle slot. You can plug a Wi-Fi dongle. You can buy this on Amazon, $20. You can buy a Wi-Fi dongle. There are 10 brands, 10 models that is supported. Any installer can just buy one. No, you can plug it in, and at that time, if the camera is having power, it will become like a hotspot. So you can connect to the camera hotspot and check the video, adjust the setting, rotation, left, right, zoom, focus. And after that, what you do? Remove the dongle, go to the next camera, plug it in, do the same. So you don't have to depend on someone to tell you go left, go right. Yeah. So this is one nice feature, installation feature. Next is we also have another feature called QR code. By the way, this Wi-Fi, this USB slot, you can disable after you finish the. You can select all the cameras in our device manager, and you can disable this. And this is not a Wi-Fi camera. This is just for installation setting. We have a separate app for iPhone or Android called installation app. You can use that to connect to the camera. Okay. All right. They also have QR code that I talked about. QR code is when you it is used for quickly scanning. Sometimes we have heard from customers QR. Let me open that. They want to know the MAC address even before they install the camera and find out. They want to know the MAC address. So we have seen them taking note of from each and every box. So what we have done, we have added QR codes for each box, and from your phone you can directly scan the QR code and you will get an Excel sheet with all the MAC ID of the cameras and the serial number and the camera model number. It's more easier for installation team. Okay, now I have a question. Can the Wisenet camera be working on two different VMS and record on two different storages at the same time? Yeah, so this is possible. Each camera can give at least six streams, six stream, right? So in unicast, multicast, unlimited. So it is possible. You can do that. Um for example, even we do recording in our Nvr, and we also do recording on VMS. There are some projects where they have there is a centralized VMS and they have a local site with Nvr, so it can work on two parallel systems. So two is fine. When you have three, then we have to go with a slightly high-end model like X series, because X series have 20 streams. It's a very powerful chip, so you can have many users connecting if it is X series. Q series, 6 streams. So we will see that. Okay, let me go forward. Okay, then let's start with the Y stream. Okay, Y stream is a very nice feature. If ever you are having a headache of too much storage consumption and the project is not really requiring, is not very active project, it's not like a 24/7 center, but you need to record 24/7, right? So those kind of projects, and almost every project, because nighttime there is no activity, you can use this technology called Ystream. Ystream is available in every model, every camera model from Hanwha. So let's say if your 2 megapixel camera is taking 1600 kbps for 25 frames, 1.6 mbps. If you activate a feature called Ystream, so the camera will now observe the scene, and if the scene is not very active, it will start the Ystream. So once the Ystream is activated, it can reduce the bandwidth by 50%. Frame rate will not reduce, resolution will not change. So this is a very nice feature to save on bandwidth when you're working on projects where we code for all the back covers, back entrances, staircases. So their activity is less. So for those areas, we can activate Ystream, and those areas will have half the storage requirement. Okay. There is one more level, but this is not in the calculator. This we have to do manually because this is more aggressive method of Ystream called level 2 Ystream. Some vendors, they have it on the calculator, but it's a risk that you have to take because when you activate this level 2 Ystream, it's called dynamic frames, dynamic GOV. You can tell the camera to reduce the frame rate. You can tell the camera to reduce by 1 frame or 5 frame, or you can ask the camera to change the iframe interval. So if you do this, the same 2 megapixel camera, when the scene is not active, it will still send, it will not stop recording, but the bandwidth will reduce by 95%. Okay, this is integrated with our Vanstone or Genetec or our VMS. It is integrated. You can use this feature. Let's say for very remote sites, and you have bandwidth issue, you can use these kind of technologies. Yeah. Now, if you do this for storage calculation, it's like only 10% of the storage, right? So, but remember, when the scene is idle, Ystream will activate. When the scene is active, it will go back to the standard bitrate. So this is constantly the camera will keep doing by itself. You don't have to do any intervention. So if you want, you can activate this. This can be used on very special cases, and you can involve our team where it can be used. Maybe offices are closed and you don't want to simply waste recording for those kind of days. I mean, those many hours, you can calculate, you can put it in the calculation. Okay, next is This we will see later. PoE extender camera, one camera can power another camera. Maybe you have a very old, let's say, infrastructure, maybe some architectural buildings, you cannot pull cables. So you can buy an extender camera. The camera will give power to another camera. So it will give two IP address, one for the second camera. It can be a camera or it can be any other PoE device also. So this is an optional camera. Not every camera is having it. You see the letter E. E means extender camera. Okay. So we will see that also when we study about model numbering. So we will be taking a break now. Let's catch up in 10 minutes and we will study how study about model number. We will study about the different series and how to decide which series to go for. Okay. Welcome back. Let's begin. Okay, hope everyone is back. Audio is fine. Any questions so far? Okay, 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 let's start. All right, so here we go. Next topic is camera lineup, camera series. Okay, so there are four major camera series we have to work with: Q, X, P, and T. In Nvr also we have four series: Q, X, P, T. Okay, in camera also we have four series: Q, X, P, T. What is difference? The range of products available, the range of analytics available is different. But just remember, the most used feature, the most commonly needed feature will be there from the starting model itself, Q series itself. So Q is starting and then X. So if you're looking for a cost effective model, you go for Q series. If it is not available in Q, then you go to X. Okay. What is X series? X series is supposed to have every feature that is required. Maybe you don't need also, you might find some extra features in X. Uh, P series is known for um, AI and multi-sensor cameras. T series is known for special application cameras. So we will see here. First is T series. Okay. T series is where you will find thermal cameras, explosion proof for oil and gas camera, um, vertical cameras like this, PTC cameras for city surveillance, you will find. Corner mount camera for schools, prisons, you will find. So very unique products you will find in T series. P in P you will find multi-direction cameras or AI camera with artificial intelligence, premium series. Okay, these cameras are not common today, but maybe in the future they will be very common. What is multi-sensor cameras with more than one sensor, one lens? Panoramic camera. This is also a panoramic camera. Four sensor panoramic stitched camera. Four sensor multi-direction. Panoramic means looking in one direction. Multi-direction means each camera lens can look in four different direction. That is multi-direction camera. Each can have its own analytics. Each will have its own lens. You can zoom differently. Each have their own SD card. But one single cable, one single license. With our or third-party VMS, one license. If you use NVR, then it will take four channel. But if you use VMS, only one license. Okay, two direction cameras also available. This model is also having AI option and without AI option. Okay, but other than that, they have all the other analytics. What are the rest of the analytics? All 15 analytics you will find, which we covered some time back, right? So here we go. Yeah. So appear, disappear, loitering, line, enter, exit, motion, face detection, tamper, fog detection, audio analytics. All of this you will find in all the each of the sensors separately you can configure. Okay. So because it's P series, so of course it will have all the analytics. Next. uh, two direction, then four direction. This is also four direction. Four direction PTRZ option is also there, so you don't have to physically go and rotate the lens. You can do it remotely. Then five direction camera, which is 4 plus 1 PTC. So all this falls under P series. Next is in P series, there is one more type of camera called AI camera, fixed camera, box camera, bullet camera, all that. And what it does, you can do searching like search by face, car, whether you're carrying a bag, wearing a mask, wearing a glass, color of the shirt. Okay, you can search for person, that's okay, but you can add more filter. You can say, okay, what is the gender, what is the color? This is extra filter. We call it attribute. And you have this cropped image. In the entire scene, only the area where the person is that is cropped. It's called best shot. So if you want this kind of feature, you will find it in P series AI camera. AI. You see here, camera P series. The first letter means represents the series, P series, AI camera. Okay. Then next is X series. X series, there are two flavors with AI, without AI. With a AI, without AI. Okay, under AI option, there is X core and X plus. What is X plus? If you want this magnet feature, you remember this some time back we covered. If you want this kind of magnet feature, if you want easy installation, you go for X AI plus. Even non-AI is having non-AI plus, non-AI standard. So this is something you don't have to worry now. We will most likely go with the standard models, standard core models. Okay, there is a reason why you need to go with plus that we will see later. But if you take any special project, any specific project, the standard models are more than sufficient. Okay, let's go. Okay, now, okay, X series is also having AI. P series is also having AI. But there is a difference. When you use X series AI, you cannot do color. You can search for a person, but you cannot do color search or gender search. Same way, you can search for a vehicle, you can search for the type of vehicle, car, bus, but you cannot do color, red color car, black color car. Okay, so color attribute will be taken out from the X series AI. So it's a slightly light AI, slightly basic way of doing AI, still deep learning, but extra attributes is not available. It's only available in P, color, gender available in P, not in X. Okay, next comes Q series. If you don't need any AI, if you don't need 15 analytics, you need basic 6 analytics, 6 security analytics, line crossing, zone crossing, motion detection, tamper detection, intrusion, defocus. You can get it in Q. So that's why I said what you need in security as a most common analytic, you'll find even in the basic series, Q series. Okay. Now, uh, every model, there is a uh, every model it will follow a rule. It follows a rule called model naming structure. You don't have to memorize it, but you just have to have knowledge of this. Okay, a model represents what? If a model number starts with X, it means it is X series. If a model number starts with Q, it means it is Q series. If a model number starts with P, P series, right? Okay. Same way, next letter N means IP camera. Okay. This particular information is available online. I will be sharing the PowerPoint also. It is there in our catalog. You'll find this information many places. Next, third letter is the shape of the camera. For the shape, you have to remember two common shapes. Sorry for this. Let me go back. You have to remember two common shapes. What are the common shapes? Dome, indoor dome, X and D means indoor camera X series. X and V, V is also dome, but it is outdoor dome, IP66 dome. If you put the camera in the corridor, you can go with X and D. If you put the dome camera outdoor in the parking area, X and V. Okay, indoor camera, outdoor camera. But if you don't want dome, you want bullet camera, you go with X and O. O is for bullet. Okay, if you need PTZ, P. Again, we have a nice tool which will do this job, but you have to have knowledge what is the meaning of this. Sometimes you already know XND 6080. If I want a bullet camera, I just change the letter. Oh, finish. I get the same spec in bullet camera. If I need the same spec in outdoor, X and V, finished. So it's very simple. So this will make you better as you, if you have the knowledge of what is the representation of the model. Next is number 6. 6 is for resolution, but just remember this, 6 is not 6 megapixel. Okay, 6 is 2 megapixel. 6, 7, 8, 9. 6 is 2 mega, 7 is 3 mega or 4, 8 is 5 megapixel, 9 is 4K. So this is something you just have to know. This digit is for resolution. Next, there are two digits, first digit and second digit. Okay, two digits are there. The It's not single, so that much you should be aware of. Okay, it's for the lens. If you have a PTZ camera and the customer says I want 36x, so it should be 36x. If he wants a fixed lens, 0 1 fixed lens. If he wants motorized lens, 0 8. So we will see that again. The tool will do the job for you. There is a nice tool. Varifocal lens is 0 8. There are two types of varifocal: motorized 0 8, non-motorized 0 7. Okay, again, Wisenet toolbox will be the tool to do this decision for you. Next is version. All remember this, always go with version 0. If you don't have 0, then you go for additional version. Do not directly go with version 1 or 2. If it is not in the toolbox, okay, then it's fine. But if you have 0 version, go with it, because additional version means maybe it is having AI feature, maybe it is having X plus magnet uh, option. So it is unnecessarily adding to the cost for you. But rest of the software is same, only hardware some extra changes, right? Or if it is AI, maybe you don't need AI camera, so you don't have to pay for it unless it is required. So go for version 0 unless and until you don't find 0 in the toolbox or that selection tool, then you go with version 1 or 2. Then the model number actually was completed, but we still have additional feature option, because let's say you want IR feature, IR LED, it is an optional feature, but some cameras have only don't have without IR, they have IR by default. So you will see this letter called R. You will not, I mean, let's say a Q series camera, it has IR, there is no without IR option, but anyway you will see in the model number QND 6082R, means it is having IR. But if you forget in X series without R, you might get a model without IR. Okay, so just remember R means IR. Now you can have more letters. REV means R IR, E for extender, or R stainless steel. So again, one more point, just like this, version 0 is the most recommended model. Same way, no need to add more and more letters. You don't have to say I need 6080RSVE like that. You don't have, just because it feels safe, just because you think, okay, what if they need, you don't have to add it, because you can keep adding additional letters. It's called additional, optional. IR with stainless steel and extender camera, REV. You don't need, right? So you don't have to have additional letters unless and until it is required. I've seen many of you when there is a model selection, you will see R and RS. So they will go with RS, but that is R with stainless steel. So First of all, it is more headache because if the camera is heavy, you need more protection, you need to install it properly, or they will go with REV, they will buy extended camera unnecessarily, or they will go with RM. M means special connector. It will not have Cat6 connection. It will have a military connection for transportation vehicle, mobile connector, RM. So don't go for additional letter unless and until somebody is recommending this to you. Just go with what you're familiar with. That is R for IR. Okay. Okay. Now let's see how to use the toolbox. Which website to go to? Hanwha Security. In Google, type Hanwha Security. After that, go to the website which has the word global security.com. The website is hanwha security.com. Okay, once you go here, you can find a toolbox, this shortcut button, toolbox, or you can find it under online tool, toolbox, wherever you find it's okay. Just go to toolbox. Now let's do a selection. Okay, before that, back to the website, hanwha-security.com. You can change the language to English. Mm, just a second, slow this. Okay, we'll wait for it to load. Let me just, I think internet is slow. Okay, okay, loading is done. Region, click on the region and make or select English. Okay, click on the region, select English. After that, support data center. Support data center catalog. This is an important document to keep for your reference. There is a file called total lineup catalog. Select it. Hmm. Okay, anyhow, you can click on this file and then download the latest model, latest release. So every quarter we update the total catalog lineup. So in that lineup, we can find whatever we talked about our company, about the technology, the model numbering rule, all that you will find in the website. So let me, okay, here it is, 2022 second half. can download. So it's takes 4 minutes to download. So once it is downloaded, I will show you. Okay, now let's go to the toolbox. Once you go to toolbox, first click on this three dots and select new, start fresh. Again, and on the left side, go to network camera. Okay, step one, start fresh. And if there are any filters, reset this and then select network camera. Sometimes you might be on all, but you have to go to network camera because this filter button is only visible when you click network camera. Okay, if you click on all, filter button is not there. Okay, now let's select a few cameras for our project. Let's say I need a 5 megapixel dome indoor camera with 30-meter IR. Okay, clear. Now here you have to decide which series. If oh okay, yes, which series to go with. Okay, now let's see this comparison. I have to decide whether to go with Q series or X series. How to decide? Q series has 2 megapixel option, 4 megapixel option, 5 megapixel. X series also has 2, 5, 6 mega, 4K. So Q also has, X also has. Which will be more affordable? Q will be more affordable. So I will go with Q series. Okay, next. In terms of networking, both are similar. I will be sharing the slide also. Both are similar, so it's fine. In terms of IR, Q series, the maximum is 30 meter. So I need 30 meters, so I'm okay with Q series. But if I need more than 30 meters, I have to go for X series. X series, if I need 30 or 30 and above, I need to go with X series. So X is always slightly above the edge, slightly above the standard requirement. If you need 20 meter, it's fine, go with Q. Okay, next, lenses. Q also has fixed lens, standard varifocal lens. What is standard? 3 to 10 mm, 2.8 to 10. All this is standard lens. You will find in Q. You will also find in X. But if you need long range, 5 to 60 mm, if you need long range PTZ above 30x, you go to X series. Okay, analytics. 6 analytics is there in Q. Motion, tamper, defocus, intrusion, virtual line, enter exit, available in Q. But if you need additional, I need object removed, I want sound analytics, handover. Handover is now being added to Q also. Defog, AI models, artificial intelligence. Then you go to X series. So if you see the difference, most of the common requirement is fine in Q, but if you need more than that, you go to X series. Same way, how to differentiate X and P? If you want AI function with attributes, shirt color, car color, you go with X series. If you need multi-sensor camera, you go with P series. Sorry. If you need color, shirt color, car color, you go with P series. If you want multi-sensor, more than one sensor in the camera, you go to P series. All right. So this is how you quickly decide which series is suitable for you. Okay, so my catalog is opened. In the catalog also you will find all the details and model number. So you can find here series, IP camera, shape of the camera, resolution, lens, version, extra letters. Okay. Okay, now back to the toolbox. So I need a 5 megapixel dome camera indoor 30-meter IR. So select Q series is fine. I want a dome camera 5 megapixel and let's say I need varifocal lens. You can choose motorized or manual. I will go with motorized lens. There are two models. Select both and you can compare. This is the comparison button. Scroll down. All the difference is highlighted in orange. IR, first model is 30 meter, second model is 20 meter. First model is aluminum IP66, second model is no IP66. So anyway, I need 30 meter IR, so I will go with the first model. So remove the second one, done. If you want bullet camera, you just change this to bullet and that's it. If you want to find the accessory, I want to mount the bullet camera on the wall, go to wall mount and buy a back box. If you want a pole mount, buy the pole adapter. How did I do this? Click on accessory. Dome camera, if I want a flush mount, I can buy flush mount. If I want smoke bubble, I can buy smoke bubble. Okay, done. So next is let's refresh this one. You can save this as a project. So you can edit the project name ABC and save. So tomorrow, if you want to edit, you can just open the file and upload that .dat file, and whatever you have saved will be available. So you can make some changes as you need. Okay, now let's do a Ptz camera. Or let's have one more. Let's say customer says I need 40 meter IR. If you need 40 meter IR, you go with X series because Q series is up to 30 meter. Okay, X series, dome, 5MP, motorized lens, and IR. Okay, X series, you will find a lot of options. Okay, stainless steel, version 1, version 0. There are two version 0. So go with least number of letter and these 0 version. Select both and compare. Compare. IR is 50 meters, 30 meters. So I will go with the 50 meter option. So X series is also having additional analytics. Okay, sometimes you just need IR range, but it will also have additional analytics. So you can also find X versus Q. You can find IR is more and IP66. Okay, it's same, so it's fine. More power option. So it's a more flexible camera. Okay, now PTZ. PTZ, you can just select here PTZ and resolution. Let's say I want 2 megapixel PTZ. 55 means 55x. 40 means 40x. R is for what? IR. So you can choose with W means wiper. So it's written here, wiper. So you can compare. Let's say I want 30x or 40x. So 30, I have so many options. Let me see 32 with IR, 32 without IR. So I can even take this 30 for IR. So I can compare. (32x, 40x), 100 meter IR, 200 meter IR. So the difference between Q series IR and X series IR, more for X. Then SD card, 2 slots, IP66 is okay. This is coming with injector. This you have to give PoE plus. So yeah, that's about it. So that's how you select your PTZ. Let's say multi-direction camera. Multi-direction. Okay, so here I have a PNM 9000. Okay, select this. If you select a multi-direction camera, some cameras will have built-in lens, some you have to buy separate lens. So here, if you see lens button, that means you have to buy separate lens. So click on this. So it is a camera body, but the lens you have to put inside. So buy the lens. For example, I can buy lens 1 2 megapixel 2.4 mm. Lens 2 I can buy 5 megapixel. If you want, you can only put 3 lenses. So you can customize this camera with 4 lenses. Each can have different resolution. Okay, done. So that's about it on how you select your camera. Let's say you want AI cameras. Go down, go to function, select AI. Okay, after this, if you want color attribute, age, gender attribute, you go with P. If you don't want this, you just want basic AI with the deep learning, you want to detect human being, vehicle, type of vehicle, car, bus, truck, you can go with X. You can select any model that you need. Okay, now let's do the storage calculation. Go to network camera, enter the number of cameras. After that, edit the number of days. Okay, your storage is 780. But you can reduce this. So click on settings and you can say I want to record at 5 mega or 2 mega and change the codec to H265. It's better, and record at 15 frames maybe. Okay, next. First, retail and light, we don't change. We just leave it as it is, 100%. It's okay. Medium, light, when the light is on. This all you don't have to change. It's okay. You have to check this. If you want to do continuous recording, click on setup and this is red. That means it is recording on motion from 11 p.m. to 10 a.m. But if you want to record continuously, make it continuous. If you want to record motion full time based on motion, you make it motion detection. If you want to record continuous, make it continuous. So you have to do this for each camera. For 4 sensor, you can select continuous, 15 frames, H265, apply to channel 234. Only for multi-sensor, you can apply to all channel. Okay, rest of them you have to do individually. After that, your storage will reduce a bit. And what else? You can take a nice report with all the camera models, all the accessories, your bandwidth, each camera, how much storage, what is the total storage, 680 terabyte and so on. And accessory report, each camera, which is the model number, that also you can get. You can edit this, you can change this, you can put your own company logo. If you can make a BOQ, okay, you save it, or you can take a report PDF of the bandwidth separately. You can do that as well. You can save it. Tomorrow, if you want to make some change, you can change. Okay, this particular tool also has field of view. If you want to know whether I can get identification, so you can check here, 250 pixel is identification. So if the person is at 5 meter and the camera is at let's say 3 meter, you can check. Okay, so at this distance I'm getting strong orange, 308 pixels. So this is identification. It's okay. If the person is very far, you will not get identification. So this also you can do from tool. There is also option called Emap. You can also upload your own map. First floor, you can put first floor or whatever. You can say the door width is roughly 1 meter. So calibrate the map first. So you have to take any 2 points and give a dimension. This is 1 meter. Okay, so now that is fine. Then you drag and drop the camera. So if the camera is here, I can get identification up to this much and detection and so on. Okay. So this is how you can also do Emap. So you got the idea. So quite flexible. You can add more floors and so on. And after this, you can take a report of this also. So far, okay. So this is your camera options. Okay. Now, if you need more details about any camera, okay, you can go to the website and type that specific model. Let's say I want more details about one specific camera. Okay, there is this catalog. This catalog will have all the basic details. The toolbox is also having this comparison guide. But if you need more, you can find in the website certificates. All the certifications. Uh, what's, something's wrong. Okay, let's take. Let's see data sheet certification. Okay, yeah, all the certificates belonging to the camera you will find. Let's say IP66, IP67, data sheet, manual, brochure, CAD drawing, firmware file, all that you will find it from the website. Okay, so this is all about the cameras. Hi Adam, you can unmute and ask a question. Anyone else is having a question? Hi Adam, I have requested you to unmute. Mohammed, Adam SAMY. What about the recommended Nvr models? Yes, we will now cover the Nvr also in briefs because every camera system will also have Nvr. Yes, Adam, you can unmute.
Hi. Yes, please. I have a question, but actually, this question is not regarding to the camera selection. Thank you very much for for all the information you have provided. The only question I have is related to the software itself. Um, may I ask, does this software is available to work with the VMware solution, VMware machine? 9%.
Okay, so you're asking about our VMS, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so yes, it is supported. You can work with VMware. You can use it, and you have to coordinate with our team. What is the requirement? What is the specification needed? And then it will be fine. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Okay. With Wisenet VMS, how to enable Wisestream? Okay. Okay, so there is two more questions. Wisenet VMS, which Nvr model to use, how to enable Wisestream? Okay, that was a good question. Wisestream, how to enable? In the tool, when you do calculation and settings, there is an option at down, Wisestream. low, mid, high. You can always use mid, no harm. Okay. Every project, nighttime activity is less. You can go with medium. If you're going for remote sites or some cameras in the staircase, there is no activity at all. Nobody is using the staircase. Only in emergency they're using. You can go with high those areas, right? So this is how you can enable Y stream. This is just level 1. Level 2 you will not see here. This is good enough. You can expect another 30% reduction when you use medium. If you use high, you can expect around 50% reduction. What is the difference between UTP and network camera? UTP camera is an analog camera, but is using Cat6 cable. That's all. Network camera is using also Cat6 cable, but it's IP camera. It will have IP address. So prefer, be careful on this one that you use N. N is for IP camera. Okay, now let's go through the NVR. NVR, no, it's a very simple. We don't have to take too much time. And right now, most of you are just want to know what NVR to use, right? So I will go through that and then I will touch on the features. Okay, first, what are the, okay, there are some basic things about an NVR. In our NVR, it is license free. NVR, you don't pay any camera license when you use our recording server. If you buy any recording hardware from Hanwha, there is no license. It is pre-licensed, or if you buy 64 channel NVR, yeah, it is having 64 license for 64 cameras. You can use it with our camera or third-party camera. Okay, done. Then hard disk is off the shelf, which means you have to buy the hard disk. NVRs are not coming with built-in hard disk. It will work with any hard disk that you can buy from the market. Sorry, the word any should be used with caution. So there is a data center HDD compatibility sheet available. So you can download this. Uh, I will come back to this one. Okay. So the benefit here is we are giving you the flexibility to choose a hard disk. So our distributor will buy the hard disk and supply along with the BOQ. That is okay. But if you have a good relationship with the supplier of hard disk, you are free to use. You can use Seagate, Western Digital, and we have all the models in the compatible list. So the benefit is we are not tied to us to use only this model you have to buy, otherwise it will not work. You have to buy from us, otherwise no warranty. We don't have that issue. So here you will find the NVR model. Let's say if I buy NVR PRN 6410, any of this model, it belongs to this group. So let's say I buy 6405, it's okay. You can check for 6410 and you can just type here PRN 6410. Next. So whichever hard disk has been checked here, tick box, you can use. You can use this brand. This is from Seagate, model numbers here. You can use any of these models that is listed. And we update this every month, so because the HDD vendors also they keep updating, so we also keep updating. So these all hard disk we check and we make sure it is integrated and tested. Okay, so you don't have warranty issues or anything of that kind. So that is one. Next is, yeah, you can every NVR has multiple network ports. They have HDMI port for directly displaying the videos, easy to set up. It is Linux based, so don't need Windows updates. But you can, even if you buy NVR, you can see it, configure it from the Windows PC. That's okay. But the NVR itself is having, just like camera is having a web interface. NVR is also having a web interface, which you can use for configuring the NVR. And it has multiple network ports. Okay, now all this aside, first let's see uh, uh, the how sorry, what is that, the models and series, how to choose your NVR. Okay, So this picture is just showing the Nvrs have two fans, dual ports, power, multiple network ports, HDMI port. Some Nvr have a fiber port. They have alarm inputs and outputs. All very flexible Nvr. Actually, it's a lot of things to cover. We'll come to that. Now, in terms of series, L series, forget about L. It's obsolete. QXP and T is there. T also you don't have to worry now. T is called transportation Nvr, which you put in the taxi, in the bus. It's a very special Nvr. But for us as pre-sales, for projects, hotels and hospitals and general surveillance, most of the Nvrs will fall under QXP. And under this, most of the Nvrs will fall under X. Okay. So 99% of your projects will fall under X. Small projects will go to Q. Very rare projects will fall under P. Okay, so it's very simple to configure Nvr, by the way. Okay, okay, so here we have 60. Okay, just a second. Nvr. Okay, yeah, okay. Just to recap, so Nvrs, they are pre-licensed, or there is, if you buy a 64 channel, it is supporting 64 channel. You don't have to pay any extra license to use even our VMS with the Nvr. No need to pay for any license. You to use the Nvr, no license. Okay. Then some Nvrs have PoE support. Some Nvrs. If the Nvr model end with the letter S, it means it can support PoE. You can directly power the camera from behind the Nvr. Nvrs also have failover function. Okay, this we have to check in the catalog. Majority of them, X series, P series, all of them, you can say roughly all of them will have failover functionality. Very small Nvr like 4 channel, 8 channel, they will not have, but 16 channel, 32 channel, 64 channel, they all have failover feature. Okay, failover feature starts from X series. Q series Nvr does not have failover. Okay, now what is failover? If you have 10 Nvrs in a project, you can have one Nvr as standby. If any one of the 10 Nvr fails, automatically the standby Nvr will take over and start recording. Okay. Um, okay. Okay. So before we dive deeper, let me first complete this before our next break. And then after the break, I will show you the Nvr features in more detail. But those who are just interested in which Nvr to take, once you have the cameras, okay, once you have the cameras, you go to calculation, click on Nvr. Okay, now there are 64 channel Nvr, then there is 72 128. Now 72 128, these are actually servers. If you see the letter P, they are actually Windows based recording servers. If you see the letter N, N means Nvr. Okay, so here you can choose, because you have too many cameras, you can go with a 64 channel Nvr, for example. Okay, so let's say I go with 64 channel Nvr. I'm just doing one example. After the break, I will explain each of these models in more detail, and then we will take it further. Okay, click on the Nvr, and you have to select, okay, till the exclamation mark disappears. I need, for 900 cameras, I need around 15 Nvrs, And the storage, currently the Nvr is using 4 terabyte. You can say I will use 8 terabyte. So yeah, that's it. So basically, you can choose a 64 channel Nvr and 8 terabyte. Each Nvr you will put 6 hard disk. Total you need 15 Nvr. So this is how you quickly select the Nvr. So okay. Now the reason for quickly covering that is in case some of you have to go, you can come back, watch the recording. I will be covering more about the NVRs in detail. We will take another 10 minutes break, or let's make it 15 minutes for now, and then we will catch up. So our session will be another 1 hour, and then we will disconnect. So roughly 1 o'clock, the session will be completed. So we'll take a break and we'll be back. Okay, let's continue. All right, so let's have a quick look at the NVR feature 192.168.1.212. Hi Ziyad, I have unmuted your mic. If you have question, please let me know. Hello. Okay, so let's see. Firstly, let me start from scratch. All right. So what you see here is the live web page of the NVR. I am using my Windows PC. I opened Chrome tab to configure the NVR. All right. So in the NVR, there is live window where you can adjust the display tile. You can also do live view directly from the web page. You have search option. And if you use AI camera, you can also search by gender, color of the shirt, um, search for person or vehicle or face or license plate like that. Okay, now how do you configure the camera? You have option to auto detect. You can discover the cameras. You can add some cameras here from, let's say, okay, let me add one more test. Okay, this is offline password setup. Hmm. These are brand new camera. Okay, let me add these. This one is all offline. Okay. Hmm. Okay, let's go ahead. So I've added two cameras now, and when you click OK, yeah, it gets saved. Your camera is now added. There is option also, like I said, to add on with camera. So we'll wait for this to finish. So you can click preview. You can find out which camera has been added. There is option to add manually on with camera, or you can add RTSP camera, which means even non-on-with cameras you can add with the RTSP URL. All right. So channel setup, you can edit the camera names. You can give names to the camera and first floor, second floor, camera 5 camera. You can edit this as you require. Then camera setup, you can configure the camera settings through the NVR also. Let's say you are going to record H265 second stream. You can make it maybe 20 frames. Click OK. You can customize this through the NVR. We have a tool actually in configuration training. I cover that. We have a bulk configuration tool, but this is just for your information what you can achieve from the NVR. You can adjust the wide stream settings. Basically, you can completely do camera settings through the NVR itself. Then NVR is a three profile NVR. You can, when you do live view, let's say when I do live view, you can see full screen. It will give full resolution, 5 megapixel. When I make a small view, it will automatically switch to a different resolution, to reduce the load on the NVR and the CPU. So this is called multi-profile NVR. You have option called live and remote. Okay, so that we will see. So NVR can adjust the profiles. Next is for recording. Let's say your NVR is 4K NVR, but you want to record in 2 megapixel. Let's say your NVR is 5 megapixel, 30 frames, but you for live view you want 5 megapixel, 30 frames, but for recording you want to record at 10 frames. Okay, so there are many cases where the customers want to have full frame rate for viewing, but for recording, they are okay to reduce to 10 frames to save some storage. So you can tell the NVR to record a different profile from the camera. So it will view H.264, but you can say I want to record H.265. So you can customize which profile to record in the NVR. Then remote. The NVR can transmit the video to a VMS, or it can transmit to let's say your let's say there is a bank and they have let's say 100 branch. Each branch you can have one NVR. In the central office, they are viewing it remotely. Okay. Now from each branch, if you have certain bandwidth limitation, you can tell the NVR which stream, which resolution it should send to the central site. If you have let's say 2 Mbps bandwidth, and in that case you can send maybe 8 cameras of half megapixel. But if the central VMS is not having any bandwidth issue, you can also tell the NVR, okay, no need to worry about low resolution bandwidth issue. Give me full resolution, H.264. So it will send 4K 25 frames. Maybe the central, let's say for example, a hotel project. There are 10 NVRs and you have VMS in the same site. Okay. The VMS is connecting to the NVR. Okay. In that case, the VMS is in the same site, right? So the NVR is sending video to the VMS, which is located in the same network. There you don't have any bandwidth issue. In that case, you can tell the NVR to stream high resolution to the VMS. Again, you don't have to worry about these settings. This is part of configuration training, not a pre-sales training. But just remember, NVR supports customizing what resolution to be shared to a VMS. You can share high resolution or low resolution to a VMS. A remote VMS, if you have bandwidth issue, you can adjust and send resolution accordingly. Okay, you can customize recording schedule for each camera. Some cameras you want to record continuously, it's okay. Some certain cameras you want to record based on event, you can make it based on event. You want to apply this to all camera, you can apply. So, or is it continuous during the daytime? You can make it continuous during daytime. You can customize this for each channel. Okay, you can have a pre-event recording before motion detected, before alarm detected, how long, after the alarm detected, how long it should record. You can record audio as well. Then you can customize each camera how many days to record. Some cameras you can record for 90 days. It's up to you. If you want, you can do that. Next is events. Okay. In event rule, you can customize. Let's say if motion is detected from camera 2, I want to trigger, I want to send a push notification to the mobile, I want to send an alarm output, I want to send an email, you can create events. Ah, okay. Next is what else? Yeah. Okay. Some NVRs they have. Let's say you are using a normal camera, maybe X series camera without AI. But if you want to convert it, if you want to make it as an AI camera, We have an NVR called P Series Nvr, which is having two processors. One of them is the AI processor. You can enable a non-AI P series, a non-AI X series camera to an AI camera. You can convert it into AI by buying a P series NVR. Okay, so we will see that when we go back to the PowerPoint. Next is we have storage RAID option. You can configure RAID 5, RAID 6, but you need to put certain number of hard disk. If I put only one hard disk, you cannot create RAID. Minimum number of hard disks is required. So RAID, minimum 6 hard disks required to create RAID. So our calculation tool will do this work for us. It will estimate the number of hard disks required. There are two network ports. Some have three network ports. You can have one port separate for viewing traffic, one port separate for recording traffic. The other port, if you want to expand the storage with iSCSI, you can do that. Okay, and then of course you have users, you have log management. You can check who logged in, which user logged in. If you want to check a motion detection is working fine, you can check the event log for each camera when motion was detected. So all that you can do. Okay, now back to the PowerPoint. Okay, PoE NVR. PoE NVR is for example, one of the bank project reference which I took. They have around, I think, 300 plus, cannot remember, but they have around 300 or 300 plus PoE NVRs in each ATMs and branches and so on. In the central location, they have the bigger NVR, 64 channel, and they have VMS also. So if you need to avoid the cost of a PoE switch, you can go with a PoE NVR. PoE NVR maximum is 16 channel. If you have more than that, you can buy one more PoE NVR for the same project. Failover. Failover you can design in the project. One standby NVR can handle up to 32. So it can monitor 32 active NVR. So if one fails out of 32, it can take over. But we recommend every 8 is to 1, 10 is to 1, 12 is to 1. You can decide the best for your project. Some specifications they will mention. Give failover for every 8 recording servers, for every 4 recording servers. So they will mention that. In that case, you follow that rule. Okay. Now, one point to remember, when you do failover, it should be same model as the active. If you're doing a 64 channel NVR, your failover should also be 64 channel, the same model. Okay. NVR also supports automatic recovery backup. That means in the SD card, if you have some recording, in case of power failure or disconnection, the recording in the SD card can be played back from the NVR. So automatic recovery backup. Okay, up to 1 day you can it can recover and store it on the NVR if required. All right, now NVR there are four series L, Q, X, and P, but L is discontinued, so we'll forget about it. Q series is up to 16 channel. Number of hard disk per NVR is some one, some two. Each camera you can go up to 8 megapixel, and the hard disk size is 6 terabyte. It has two outputs, HDMI and VGA. But anyhow, it's a small project. You can use Q series. Okay. Now X series is also having 4 channel, 8 channel, 16 channel, just like Q. So Q is also having 4, 8, 16, but X is also having that. Why? X will have more hard disk slot. This one is having 2, Q, this will have more hard disk slot. This is having PoE NVR option, built-in PoE, but it will support, let's say 16 cameras, 100 watts. So X series will also have PoE. It will support 200 watts, maybe more power it will supply to the same camera if required. Okay, so it and there is one confusion some customers have. Can I connect a Q series camera to X series? No issue, you can connect. You can even connect a P series camera to Q series NVR. but that camera should not exceed, each camera, not all total, each camera should not exceed 8 megapixel. Okay. Now, X series. X series is your go-to NVR for almost every project. Starts from 4 up to 64 channel. You can have, let's say 64 channel. If you are recording only 30 days, you can go with 8 slot option. If you're recording for maybe 90 days, or you're recording 5 megapixel for 90 days, you need more storage, you can go with 16 slot option. You got it? That you have two options. Next, each camera you can even go 32 megapixel. It's okay. Each hard disk 10 terabyte. Right now you will see we also there is an upgrade, but anyhow, you for now let's say 10 terabyte. You can check the recommended hard disk list. Where did we find it? Under data center, Hdd Compatibility List. Check your Nvr, check the size whether it is supported. 10 terabyte, what is the model number? It is okay, you can use it. Next, built-in PoE up to 16 channel. Not all 16 channels, some 16 channel, if you don't find the number S at the end, that means no PoE. So just check whether it has PoE. PoE means letter S at the end. Okay, P series. Also similar, okay, 16, 32, 64. It doesn't have small one like 4 or 8 channel. It starts with 16, but rest is similar. Okay, now the next page, we will see the key difference. Okay, RAID 5, RAID 6 option is available. RAID 5, RAID 6 option is available. You can use AI camera, it's fine. Failover option from 16 channel onwards, it is there. Two power supply options available in 64 channel. Converting a non-AI camera to AI camera, you can only do in P series Nvr. This is again not a common requirement, so most of our projects will be X. There are some special models again in P series where you can get face recognition, where you upload a face photo of a person, search for similar face. If you want that, there is model ending with a 10. These are this is not on the website. You have to get it as a special model request. It's something you have to coordinate with the local sales team or pre-sales team. For this, you have to use the AI camera plus AI Nvr. So this option is also available. So having said that, if you take a day-to-day project requirement, most of them will fall under X series. Okay. Now, once you have Nvr in the project, let's say I have a project with 8 or 6 Nvrs. Okay. And there is a control room required, and control room is having 3 monitors. Control room is having 1, 2, 3 monitors. Okay. Now, I want to centralize 1, 2, 3 Nvrs. I want to bring them together and see in these 3 PCs. In that case, we have a VMS called Smart Security Manager, SSM VMS. This SSM VMS, I will not be asking questions on the quiz, but this is for your information. The quiz will be only up to NVR. The reason why I'm covering SSM is because anyhow it is free to use. You can use it with NVR. Okay, so SSM is a VMS which you can use to centralize and bring all the NVR together. So the client will only use the VMS to see the live video, playback, and everything. Okay, so for example, this is my SSM VMS. I can go to configuration and I can register whatever NVRs I have. So let's say I have these NVRs. So I have now added all the NVRs. Whatever cameras are under the NVR will also get added. Now if you see this SSM, zero licenses were used. So when you add an NVR to SSM, it will not take any license. That's why it is SSM is free to use. So in this VMS now, I have added to server 2. I can uh, I can make a layout here. I can drag and drop cameras if they are online. I think all these NVRs are not used for a long time. So let's see, this is online, online, online. Okay, these two is online. So I can have a layout. So what am I doing here? I can merge one layout and I can bring cameras from different NVRs. You got it. So centrally I can view. So this is the flexibility of SSM VMS. You don't need to have separate monitor for each NVR. You can bring them together. Okay. And SSM VMS, then you can do searching. You can do playback for all NVR together. You can export the videos from here centrally. You can choose which cameras from which date to which time. You can export. Um, SSM supports custom language. It also has Arabic language option. So in case you need to use Arabic, you can use that. Then you can have multiple tabs. Then, so let's say I have another monitor, I can show this there. I have dashboard. So dashboard, I can see here, I have 7 recorders. All 7 recorders online. 10 cameras are offline. Then let's see, let's see. Okay, so yeah. So I can see the details of load. Yeah. So each NVR I can see, okay, how many cameras online, offline. So I can, it's a dashboard, like it's central monitoring. That's the objective of this. Then you can search for events across multiple NVRs. You can do that. And you can group, for example, I can have a group and say first floor, I can put some camera from NVR1, some camera from NVR2. I can group, I can have mapping interface. So I can have a map, you can map it and you can put maps here. Yes, so you can drag and drop maps. That can be done. Hi, good note. Yes. So how do you sync camera times? You have to. Our NVR can act like a NTP server. So if you're on the NVR, so here we go. What is that? Network date and time sync. So act as server. You can have all the cameras synced to the NVR. So NVR can give time to the cameras. So it is possible. However, all these are training devices. Depending on which customer from where they're coming, they will fix their time. So um, each will be assigned an NVR. So you will find different times here, but yes, you can. And the NVR itself, you can sync. If you want to sync all the NVR from an SSM server, you can also do that. So that functionality is available. Just to cover on one of the questions. Okay, so now how to do the centralization? Um, it's very simple. Each SSM, each one SSM software PC can handle up to 3000 channels. So that means you have 40 NVR, 50 NVR. You can buy one PC, install SSM. No need to pay license. Install the SSM. There is a free activation. You have to do it online. It is instant activation. So you can install SSM and manage around 3000 channels. It doesn't matter, some can be 4 channel, 8 channel, total 3000 channels you can manage from one. Now, if you want failover, you can do that also. So for example, if if this server fails, the client will stop getting live video. So if you want, you can buy one more SSM PC and activate failover. Again, no need to pay any failover license, and it is free because you're already purchasing the Nvr. So in case server 1 fail, all the Nvr will get transferred to server 2 and you can continue with the live video playback and so on. Okay, anyhow, recording is on the Nvr, so there's no loss. Okay, so what is the requirement for your SSM PC? i7 16 GB RAM. That's it. So you buy an SSM system. If you want to combine your Nvrs in a project, buy a PC with i7 16 GB RAM, install SSM software, and if there are 5 PC for operators, buy 5 i7 16 GB PC, and if each PC for the operator is having 2 monitors, 2 GB graphics card. Okay, now I will do an example and then we can close, which with all the full system. For example, let's say I have your 900 cameras. I need SSM VMS and let's say 5 operator PCs and Nvr with RAID 5. Okay, back to the toolbox, back here, delete. Okay, now here, because we covered only Nvr, so let's keep it up till N. This is a server with SSM pre-installed. This is different concept. This is part of SSM training. Uh, we will see that in a different day because that's not part of today's course. So camera and Nvr, let's say you have selected camera. Now Nvr needs to be selected. How to decide which Nvr to go? If your storage is 600 terabyte for 900 camera, it's okay. And you don't need a lot of Nvr, a lot of storage. So you will see here XRN means X series recorder network Nvr 64 channel B2. Okay, so what is B2? 4 means 16 hard disk, 2 means 8 hard disk, each pay 4 hard disk. Okay, now this you can get it from here. So let's say I need 64 channel, which is the highest because I have 900 cameras. Okay, now under 64 channel, I'm not sure which one to take. So I can first take all of them, B4, B2. Okay, B2 means less hard disk. Anyhow, let's go with all. I don't need P because I'm not converting any camera to AI. If I use AI camera, it will work. I don't want to convert any non-AI camera to AI. So I'm just going with all the X options. Okay, now compare. Okay, camera is also there. Let me remove this. Compare. Scroll down, look for the difference. Okay, hard disk, maximum hard disk number 8, 16. Because I don't need a lot of storage, 90, 60 days or whatever, I will go with the 8 hard disk bay option. Okay, I have option 1 and option 4. Now, what's the difference between option 1 and option 4? Option 1 is having RAID 5, RAID 6 option. Option 4 does not have RAID. So if I need RAID 5, my only selection will be first one. You got it? Dual power supply is not there. If you want dual power supply, then I have to jump to this. So I haven't mentioned that I need dual power supply. So I will go with the first model. So remove, 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 calculate, Nvr. Whenever you see exclamation mark, that means something is not right. So you have to fix the quantity. Keep adding. Okay, fixed. Now hard disk showing some it's less because according to the tool you are saying I will give 4 TB, but you can go with higher, maybe 8 terabyte or even you can go with 10 terabyte. So you can decide which hard disk you want to put. Once you put 10 TB, you need 5 hard disks for each NVR. Okay, and you need total of 15 NVR. You can see that in the report. Bandwidth 15 hard disk, 15 NVRs, each should have 5 hard disks of 10 TB each. Now since I want RAID 5, so I click RAID 5, and once you click RAID 5, just please click it once again. This is a small glitch now, so click the hard disk once again. When you change to RAID 6, click this once again, it will get updated. Okay, just keep this in mind. If you don't want RAID, okay, leave. I mean, just redo the hard disk selection to refresh this calculation. Okay, I have RAID 5. I'm using 8 terabyte. So I need 10 hard disks. It's too much. So let me make it 10 terabyte. I need only 6 hard disks. Okay, done. So this is how you quickly do the calculation. Take the report, go to the compatibility list. Also, you can find the suitable hard disk from here. Sometimes you will not find your model. In that case, go and find, let's say my NVR is PRN1610. So which means group, check the group. It belongs to XRN group. So any hard disk suitable for XRN 6410 is suitable for PR. So this is something you have to keep in mind. Okay, so you can, this is how you design. Now next, after you have completed the NVR selection, what about the SSM? So if you want to centralize the NVR, centralize the monitoring, you can buy one SSM PC. Uh, Basically buy one PC with i7, 16 GB RAM. It can support up to 3000 channels. So here you install SSM server server application. Then you have 5 operator PCs, 5 PC with i7, 16 GB RAM. Okay, let's say each of them is having 4 monitors or two. Okay, let's take 2 monitors. So 2 GB graphics card. Here we install SSM client. Okay, and so because the project is higher, so here for failover you can have one more PC. So in case server 1 is down, all the for failover, all the NVRs will get transferred to server 2. Recording is in the NVR, so recording never gets affected. Only your client has to connect to the NVR through SSM. So if one of them is down, you can have another one. So this is a good practice. For small projects, it's okay. 200, 300 camera, there's no failover required. You don't have to use. Okay, so yeah, any license till now? None. No paid license. Okay, so this is how you design your project. Any questions up to this point? Um, if not, training is done. You should receive an email tomorrow around this time. Uh, you will get an email with the exam registration link. So, okay, I have a question. Please propose specs for 4 monitors. So the principle that we follow is every 2 monitors, 2 GB graphics card. So if you have 4 monitors, 4 GB graphics card. Maximum per client is 4 monitors. If you have more than 4 monitors, buy one more PC and use the relevant graphics card and spec. So i7, 16 GB RAM, every 2 monitors you can use, or every monitor 1 GB graphics card. Up to 4 monitors we can support. And you can use CUDA decoders because our SSM supports graphics card decoding. So we have here video enable NVIDIA CUDA decoder. We can offload the decoding on the graphics card also. So SSM can support that. There are many other functions. You can also do pop-up setting in SSM, which you can create an event if motion is detected. Let's say if motion is detected from camera 1 or NVR is offline, you can customize this. If motion detected, I need I want to pop up entire layout. I need to pop up one camera, or I want to pop up that particular camera, or I want to take some other action. So there are a couple of settings you can do. This we will be covering more elaborately in SSM session. All right. Any further questions, please let me know. Otherwise, session be completed. And thank you for your time, and hope this session was useful for you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time. Welcome. So PowerPoint will be sent by email, and exactly the system will send in around the same time. When we finish, you will get an email. Okay. Thank you again. Have a good day, and I will be in touch. Yeah, there is a quiz link that will be sent to you. You can attend the quiz anytime before the end of the month. So I was covering that. So you will get an email with the exam link. Once you register, you will see like this. Before the training, take the test. There is no training actually. This is another platform. So just click on the test and do the quiz. And you can do it anytime before end of the month. So that date will be mentioned, the due date. Before that date, you have to submit the test. It's open book. You can refer to the content, training, and then take the exam. Okay. And within 30 to 40 days, we will issue the certificate from the time you submit. Okay. Passing score is 70%. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.